Hi there, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles. So Christmas 2021, done and dusted, and if you, like me, have added a few extra kilograms, you have my sympathies. So easy to put on, so difficult to get off. But anyway, let's get on with another great live album. And we're going to have a look at another southern rock band. We had a look at an Allman Brothers album previously, the Live at the Fillmore. Now we're going to look at Lynyrd Skynyrd's One More From the Road. And for me, this is a very different southern rock band to the Allman Brothers. They had a sound all of their own. They were more of a boogie kind of band, a lot shorter songs. They didn't have that whole jam band thing really going, although live they did stretch out a bit at times. Had a great front man, had some excellent guitarists, great keyboardists. They had the whole package. And unfortunately, they were one of the bands in rock history that probably had the worst luck ever. I mean, if you have to count how many people have passed on from Lynyrd Skynyrd, you're looking, must be about 10 or 11 people. Of course, famously, after this live album, which came out in 76, they had that terrible plane crash in 77 after their final album, Street Survivors, with that almost prophetic cover with them standing in front of a whole lot of flames. And really sad. They lost the singer, they lost guitarist, they lost a backing singer, and some of the guys had injuries that they never really recovered from. So let's dive in and have a look at this album. It was recorded between the 7th and the 9th of July 1976 at the Fox Theatre in Atlanta, Georgia. A great venue, and it was released on September the 13th, 1976 on the MCA label, which was the label they were with, I think, from the beginning. And it was produced by Tom Dowd, who had produced quite a few big albums back in the 70s. So in the band, you had Ronnie Van Zant on lead vocals, a great vocalist with that unique vocal style, such a commanding presence on stage. Steve Gaines on guitar and vocals. He was kind of the new boy at the time. He was added on guitar. He wasn't in the original band. Alan Collins on guitar and Gary Rossington on guitar. So there you had the three guitarists that made up the Lynyrd Skynyrd sound. Then you had Leon Wilkerson on bass and vocals. He always had his hat on his head, different hats, policeman's hat and what have you. Very great character. Artemis Pyle on drums, also not the original drummer, but I think a much better drummer than the original guy. And Billy Powell on keyboards. Then you had backing vocals, Jojo Billingsley, Cassie Gaines, and Leslie Hawkins, who just added that nice backing vocal sound to some of their songs. Truck Driving Man, I think, was one. A couple of others as well. And the album went 3 times platinum in the States, which is a really good number. So, I remember listening to this many years ago at my late cousin's place, the vinyl, and it blew me away then. And I've actually got the deluxe version that I'm going to show you in a second. So it's been released, I think, twice, originally on vinyl and then on CD, and then in 2001 there was this deluxe version. So that's the album cover there, stage. So instead of One More From the Road or One More For the Road, they've scratched it out and it's One More From the Road. Excellent live albums. So what you do here, you get a bonus disc with this. There's a whole bunch of extra alternative versions on here, previously unreleased tracks, and there's a couple of previously unreleased. So it's double disc. Take that off. Universal did a really good job with these deluxe versions, and that comes off as well. So there's the cover, there's the inside. You open it up, there's a great shot of the crowd. They had a really good following, Lynyrd Skynyrd, very loyal fans. And there's Artemis Pyle, you can see him playing the drums there with the guys in the front, Steve Gaines and the rest. Really good drummer, very solid. And let's see what else is in here. There's a booklet in here as well. I'll just show you. That's the, I'm not sure what that is. Looks like a ticket booth. Obviously when you go to the Fox Theatre, that was your ticket booth back in the day. There's another shot. So this tells you all about the concert and who was in the band, the whole story. And there's some shots of the guys. That's Billy Powell there on keyboards. That's Steve Gaines, Artemis Pyle on drums, Leon Wilkerson, and there's the great Ronnie Van Zant. And the only remaining guy, the only guy left in the band from the original band, Gary Rossington. That's Gary Rossington over there. And that was Alan Collins, of course. Yeah, so sad all these guys are gone. Here's a great live shot of the guys. And there we go. That's them with the band and the backing singers. And I think some of the guys from the road crew. Always a very important part when you're live. Without your road crew, you're not going to get very far. And there's a Confederate flag, which of course these days is a no-no on stage. You know, many bands have decided not to use that anymore. There's a great live shot there. Some great live shots in this deluxe version. And there's all the songs. And there's that Saturday Night Special. I think that was the picture used for that song. So let's go through the tracks. Let's see what we have. So on the first disc you get Introduction, Working for MCA. MCA was the record company they belonged to. They had some issues with them. I Ain't the One, Saturday Night Special. That was a song about the gun. Excellent guitar work from all three guitarists. The rhythm section, super tight, Artemis Pyle and Leon Wilkerson. Searching, And then there was a track, Traveling Man. That's the track where you had the backing vocalists come into their own. Simple Man, great track, big hit for them. Whiskey Rock-a-Roller, The Needle and the Spoon, song about drugs, which unfortunately the band did know about, dabbled in that as well, although they were more of a drinking band, I think. Give Me Back My Bullets, that was from the previous album to the live album, I think. Give Me Three Steps. Call Me the Breeze, which was a track also done by JJ Cale. Brain freeze there for a minute. T for Texas, so that's all on the first disc. And then on the second disc, Sweet Home Alabama, Crossroads, Free Bird. Of course, they had to play Free Bird. That was their big sort of Stairway to Heaven epic type track. Then there are a couple of alternate, previously unreleased Introduction and Working for MCA. This is a different version of that. I Ain't the One, alternate version of that. Searching, another version, previously unreleased. Give Me Three Steps, alternate version. Call Me the Breeze, alternate version. Sweet Home Alabama, alternate version. Crossroads and Freebird, a different version of that. So it's quite cool to see the different, I think it was probably over the different nights, they've taken the different songs from those each night, got the best ones and put them on the live album. So those are all the songs. And for me it's so sad, because if you listen to the live album, you can see they were at the top of their game. 1976, they were flying high. One only wonders if they hadn't had that plane crash in 77, how much further that band could have gone. Well, that particular lineup, how much further they could have gone. Because they were all, just like that. They were very solid. All three guitarists, as I mentioned. You've got a great rhythm section. And in Ronnie Van Zant, you had such a cool front man. He wasn't the guy that ran around the stage a lot, but he had a very commanding presence. He was a perfectionist as well within the band. If you didn't pull your weight in that band, he let you have it. I mean, there were quite a few brawls within that band. They were quite wild on the road. They could party hard. Just such a shame that they came to an end. Apparently, the plane that they got on wasn't really that, if you want to call it roadworthy to fly. The pilots, they were having a few issues with them and they crashed into the trees, and of course that was that. They did come back with new members. Ronnie Van Zant's brother, of course, took over as vocalist. But it was never quite the same as the original. To me, this was the Lynyrd Skynyrd that was the best lineup of the band for me. I mean, not that the more recent ones are not capable, but it's just, it's the original. So there we go, Lynyrd Skynyrd, One More for the Road. And like I said, for me, It's an essential, one more from the road. Let's get that right. It's an essential live album from the 70s, especially in the Southern rock genre. This and the Allman Brothers for me are the top two. So next time around, we're going to zip over from the States and go all the way to Ireland. And we're going to have a look at one of the greatest live albums ever as well. Also a bone of contention whether it's actually live, but for me, it's a live album and it's one of the greats. We're going to be looking at Phil Lynyrd and the boys in Thin Lizzy and Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the last few days of 2021, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers.